you. Alessandra took the plate of food from Linda. We've only just met. I won't think too much about it. She decided to push the issue of Linda's smile to the side. Whether it was due to the rumors about her face or something else, Linda would have to open up and say if there was something she disliked about Alessandra. Alessandra did not want to continue playing the guessing game when she was meant to be enjoying the palace. What would you like to drink, Alessandra? I prepared tea if you were to feel cold because of the weather. But there are some nice juices that pair well with the cakes and pastry. Which do you prefer? Hazel questioned, excited to have Alessandra try everything. She wanted Alessandra to enjoy the palace as much as possible so that she would keep wanting to visit. Hazel, she's not a child. Let her look around and pick something herself. Linda chuckled. I am being a nice host, Linda. Do you feel like I am pestering you, Alessandra? Hazel asked. Not at all. I want to try your favorites. If it is possible, I would like to invite you to my home for you to try what I enjoy, Alessandra replied, personally extending an invitation out to Hazel. Hazel clapped her hands happily. After all these years, I'm finally receiving an invitation to Edgar's home. Edgar's not the type to like people in his home. Shouldn't you talk about this with him first? Linda asked Alessandra. You shouldn't get ahead of yourself and do what you please with his home. Hey! Hazel playfully tapped Linda's hand to stop her from ruining her invitation. What on earth are you doing? Don't ruin this for me. Edgar won't mind. It's a house we share now that we're married, and he's told me to do as I please. I will organize a day for you to visit. Alessandra quickly intervened. Thank you. Alessandra, please excuse us for a moment. Hazel stood up from her seat. Come with me, Linda. Hazel knew her friend well enough to know that in the short time they had been conversing, something was wrong. Before it could ruin the day and make Alessandra feel uncomfortable, she was putting an end to it now. Hazel walked Linda to a corner of her bedroom, far away so that Alessandra wouldn't hear them. What is your problem, Linda? It's like there is some underlying animosity to my guest. What is it? What are you talking about? There's nothing going on. Linda! Hazel cut her off before she could lie. We've been friends for a very long time. I know you better than you realize, and there's something very wrong here. Is your issue with the Duchess? As far as I am concerned, the two of you have never met for there to be a problem. Linda found Hazel to be unbelievable at this moment. Shouldn't her best friend be on her side and immediately realize where the problem stemmed from? Hazel, do you honestly not know why I'm upset that you invited her here and did not mention a word of it to me? Hello, that's why I'm asking you what the problem is, and I don't need to be sending you a message about who was invited to the palace. You don't have to, but when it comes to Edgar's wife, you should, Linda exclaimed, but then quickly realized her mistake as Alessandra turned to look in their direction. In a low tone, she asked, Have you forgotten that I once used to like Edgar? And now you're being friendly with his wife? Hazel couldn't believe this. It was because of a crush she thought vanished years ago after Edgar showed no interest. After Hazel became engaged to Tobias, she and Linda thought it would be wonderful if Linda could marry Tobias's best friend, and then they would all be close to each other. Edgar quickly rejected Linda and stated the fact he was no one's best friend. Hazel pinched the bridge of her nose and said, That is so childish. You have not mentioned that crush for such a long time, and the man is freaking married. Edgar is close to Tobias, and after meeting his wife, I like her. I can't help it. It's wonderful that I can be close to the wife of the man my husband trusts with his life. Excuse me for not once thinking about an old crush. You need to get over that right now because I will not stop getting to know Alessandra, and as my friend, you should not get in the way. If Alessandra had truly done something to Linda, no way Hazel could continue to try getting to know her, as Linda was her good friend, feelings first. However, being upset that Edgar was now married and acting weird around his wife was completely childish. Alessandra had nothing to do with Linda's failed crush on Edgar. If you have to pretend you like being in her presence to sit at that table, then you need to leave. I'm sure the Duchess has felt awkward, judging by how she reacts when you speak to her. What are you going to do, Linda? Will you make a new friend with me? Or will you linger in the past while everyone else has moved on? There's no reason for you to be fake around her. Linda bit her lip and glanced at where Alessandra sat, eating the treats she picked out. I suppose I was a little bit childish, and I did intend to get under her skin at some point. Ugh, I'm such an idiot. You're absolutely right. Luckily, you didn't do anything petty or low down to leave a sour taste in her mouth. The aura at the table was just weird. Come on, my little lamb. Hazel pinched Linda's cheeks. I told you to stop calling me that. Do not make me pinch the queen and call her a ridiculous nickname. I do not want to be thrown in prison. Linda chuckled. Oh, please. With a father as the commander and best friend being the queen, no one would dare throw you into prison. Come on, it's time for you to start over with Alessandra. Hazel pulled Linda back to where Alessandra sat all alone. I hope we weren't gone for too long, Alessandra. Thank you for pouring us some juice. Hazel picked up a cup of juice placed in her spot and took a sip. You weren't gone for long. Is everything all right? Alessandra asked. It was clear Hazel had also picked up on the awkwardness, but Alessandra would continue to feign ignorance about it until the person behind the awkwardness addressed it. Everything is all right now. I'm sorry if I have made you feel weird, or maybe you did not feel anything at all. I was a little taken aback by your presence because I used to love your husband, Linda declared. The juice Hazel was drinking seemed to have gone down the wrong way as she started coughing and sniffing after almost choking. I didn't mean to start over like this, she internally screamed. So that's the reason? Alessandra felt relieved by Linda's confession. You're not upset? Linda was deeply confused by Alessandra's reaction. Why aren't you laughing at me or rubbing it in my face that you're married to him? Why don't you seem the slightest bit upset that I was going to act poorly toward you because of an old crush? Is that really how someone in my position would react? Alessandra asked, as it seemed dramatic, but she found Hazel shaking her head. That's a little bit over the top. Truthfully, I thought it was because of the rumors about my faith. She touched her mask. I thought you might not have liked my presence next to your friend, but then I let it go until you would be ready to speak up. Even as queen, I could never be that mature, Hazel muttered. I'm not upset with the fact you once liked Edgar. I saw at the ball how many admirers he has, and they did not look happy to see me by his side. I can't help my husband being such a sought-after man and women being upset that I'm in the spot they think they should be in. It is a trivial matter to me unless they try to harm me. But thank you for telling me about the feelings you had for him, said Alessandra. There's a lot more I needed to explain to you, Duchess, but I am a little mind blown right now. Linda found it hard to explain more to Alessandra when Alessandra had brushed the situation off with a lack of care. I am also a little mind blown right now. Do you see why I like her? Hazel asked Linda. Honestly, taking a situation like this with a grain of salt might severely annoy women who come to you stating they once liked Edgar. I can imagine how they would react to you not caring. I hope that I am around to witness some of their facial expressions. Somehow, Hazel tapped her chin while she inspected Alessandra. I see a bit of Edgar's personality in you. Really? Alessandra found that to be surprising. She spent a lot of time with Edgar, but found them to be nothing alike. I don't think it's possible for there to be anyone else with a personality like Edgar's. No one can handle that. I agree with the Duchess, Linda said. I wouldn't want to have to deal with two Edgars. Can you imagine what our social circle would be like if there was a female version of Edgar in it? Linda shuddered just from imagining it. Alessandra and Hazel shared a look. I think it would be highly entertaining, and it's just what this town needs. Sometimes, without realizing it, our partner's ways can rub off on us. You might not notice it yet, and maybe I have because I've been around Edgar many times. You seem a lot like him. I can't put my finger on it yet. In what way you do remind me of him? Hazel continued to stare at Alessandra. Alessandra was just as curious as Hazel to find out in what way she was similar to Edgar. When you find out, please let me know. Meanwhile, Edgar entered a private study that once belonged to Tobias's father when he was king. After looking for Tobias where Hazel said he was, Edgar was told Tobias had long left and went to visit the study. Tobias, do you think we are still children playing hide and seek? I would have gone home instead of searching for you if not for my wife being here, Edgar told Tobias, who stood by a window looking at something. Those were good times, when you and I would run off to hide while the servants tried to find us. The first one to get caught would have to jump into the river from the high rocks. I always ended up losing, unless I ran and hid with you. I swear you were trying to kill me by having me jump into that water. Tobias recalled the pleasant memory, even though he had always been scared to jump. I never thought you would be foolish enough to jump each time, but you proved me wrong. Have you called me here because you're bored, or is there something important? Edgar closed the door to have privacy from anyone spying on Tobias. Can't I just want you here as a friend? Is that so bad? After silence fell upon them, Tobias said, How rude. Do you have any leads on the girls who have gone missing? No one has been missing for a while now, which is a good thing. I'm afraid things have been silent because there are girls taken, but no one has realized yet. Some of the victims' families are given peace when a dead body shows up in town. But there are some who have been waiting for any sign of their loved one, whether dead or alive. As you said, it has been silent. Whoever this person is, they plan out their attacks, and when it is time to place dead bodies around the kingdom, there are no leads except for the flowers placed on all the bodies and the way their faces look, as if someone had been dressing them up. Based on the bruises, it seems like their captor killed them in a fit of rage. That's the only clue I can go by. If that is all you can do, then so be it. We've already investigated all the people these girls interacted with, but nothing seems odd. Why the hell did there have to be such a maniac right after I became king? I'm telling you, it has to be one of my deranged relatives. Tobias sighed and left the window to take a seat. I should let the guards search their homes, but it'd be a pain if nothing is found. Tobias sat down in his father's old chair and placed his feet on the table. Who do you think it is, Edgar? If I knew that, I wouldn't be wasting my time searching for clues when I could be focusing on my own matters. Edgar snapped. The only reason he was on this case was because of Tobias and his freaking royal order. There were plenty of guards and other men with titles to handle this. Every chance you get, you annoy me. Even now, by having me tag along with my wife. Isn't it obvious I would want my best friend around? Tobias asked. Then why the hell didn't you invite that person instead of me? You. Tobias stared at Edgar in disbelief. After all these years, you do not see us as best friends? Must you crush my heart so much? What else did you call me here for? Is there trouble brewing in the palace? Was there another attempt on your life again? Edgar asked. They're getting bolder by the day. This time they were targeting my wife, but I intervened just in time without her noticing. Feels like I am back at the battlefield again. Tobias stared at the palm of his hand. It's so long since my father sent me to fight, and there was so much blood. Now I'm getting my hands dirty again. I'm going to hang them as a warning to everyone else. He balled up his fist. 2 men were captured, trying to make an attempt to kill Hazel, but they refused to name the person who hired them. Of course, I will personally torture them a little bit. They have no use for their teeth, nails, and tongue before being hanged. I truly believe we have been awfully nice these days, Edgar. They will start targeting you as my closest ally, and you now have a weakness. Your wife will be targeted, said Tobias. The moment that happens, I will throw all my morals to the side, and Lockwood will become a blood town. After becoming married, there are so many fools I have added to my list. Excuse me if I end up killing all the Barretts. Do you know when the funeral is? Edgar questioned, tempted to carry out a mass murder on the people who ignored Alessandra's suffering for years. Now, why would I be the one to tell you that when you want to kill an entire family? I hear Clark Barrett has been hovering around the Baroness, and he paid you a visit. Of course, everything in town reaches your ears quickly. Edgar grinned. Tobias lived far away in the palace, but he had so many spies placed around the kingdom to be able to know when a plate was broken in someone's house. I am not a fan of spies, Tobias. Remove them before they disappear. I've been informed one of your maids was found dead. She used to spy on you for your mother. How intriguing. I won't bother suspecting you, as the body wouldn't have been carelessly placed unless you were trying to throw anyone who knows you off your tracks. Oliver must be having a wonderful day with trying to pin it on you. Tobias softly chuckled, but it got louder the more Edgar looked annoyed. Why didn't you just give the man a kiss on the cheek to... Woo! Tobias dodged a pillow. Fuck off. I can't when it's so amusing to me that one of your friends fell in love with you. You're a serious problem for having men and women fall for you. I fear your wife will have so many people to ward off. Hazel is in the same situation right now. Some of the nobles and men in court have been bringing their daughters to the palace for me to take a mistress. Tobias rubbed his temple due to the stress. Why do you seem so worried? Are you tempted to cheat on your wife? Of course not. Tobias quickly denied Edgar's claim. I'm just thinking about how Hazel must feel. I wouldn't be able to take anyone bringing men around for her to entertain. Although I personally picked her to be my wife because I liked her, everyone seemed to think otherwise. They seem to think I would be like other kings and pick a mistress. They want to believe that so they can have hope for their daughters. If I were in your position, something would have happened to one of the daughters as a warning to stop bringing them. You're the king, Tobias. Find a way to get rid of them quickly, before your marriage is ruined, Edgar advised him. He walked to the window to see what Tobias had been looking at earlier. Well, look at this. Tobias became amused. Never would I think you would offer me marriage advice. Times have certainly changed. I'm still trying to figure out why you married Alessandra Barrett. I had someone in mind for you, but now that's ruined. I am going to uncover your marriage, Edgar. I will find out why you married her. Tobias, you have been around me for many years, so I give you many chances, unlike anyone else. Like the fools trying to mess with your marriage, I will kill you if you dig around and interfere with mine. If you wish to continue, make sure Hazel is with an heir to the throne and we'll have a replacement. How embarrassing would it be for me to kill you in your own palace? At some point, you should fear the king, even though I am your friend. I am the most powerful man in this kingdom. Tobias abruptly stood up from his chair. He liked Edgar, but at times, it was annoying how Edgar never once feared offending the king. It was funny that was what he both liked and hated about Edgar. If that is what you believe, why do you always run to me for help? If that was meant to be a threat, why do you fear me? You might be a king, but you are well aware there are others with a lot of power throughout this kingdom. You've been digging around about the men I have on my land. Do you think I'm building an army to overthrow you? Edgar looked down at crates being taken off somewhere on the back of carts being pulled by horses. Out of all the people around me, I don't think you would want to overthrow me. Being king would be a hassle for you, and you don't like any of my relatives to work alongside them. The only reason you would kill me is if I annoy you or ruin your marriage, it seems. Tobias walked to stand beside Edgar. There's trouble in the south, as always. I had new weapons prepared just in case. If it becomes like last time, would you go off to fight again? And leave my wife in the hands of who? Edgar walked away from the window. I have offered my services in battles more than I needed to. There are men who sit in their homes and hide instead of fighting. Drag them out of their homes and let them aid you. They hide because they know they will die. You have always been an excellent fighter, and your strategies have always been helpful. I'm sure your wife would love for this kingdom to be safe, even if you were to not be by her side for a month or two. Preparations could be made. I am not going anywhere. Edgar firmly rejected Tobias's offer. He sat down on a couch before lying down to get some rest, while Alessandra enjoyed her time with the queen. Don't even think of approaching my wife about it. I'll tell the queen of your days before you became married. What was the name of the girl you used to visit again? Fine, fine. Tobias threw his hands in the air, giving up for now. I suppose I cannot overwork you when you are already looking for the missing girls. I'll have to depend on the knights to solve the problem in the south. So, what are we going to do now that it is just the two of us? Shut up and close our eyes until our wives are done.